What's with this Ron and Ron?
Oh, no. Forgive me, Father O'Toole. I spilled the wine.
Don't you worry about it, Johnny. Just reach down there and grab that roll of papal towels. Take it from Father O'Toole. He knows that Pope's papal towels have a special sin-cleansing agent and are more absolvent than other secular brands. So don't be a dope. Take it from the Pope.
I much like use papal towels.
Pope's papal towels. If you liked his tomatoes, you're gonna love his towels.
Okay, so the cart didn't queue up in time, but what I really intended to do was, what's with this Ron and Ron?
Two of the dumbest white men that I have ever met in my entire life, but that's a whole different story. We'll get to it at a whole different time.
All right, 10:08 at WIOD. Happy Wednesday. We're in the single-digit category now. 8, A-T-E. I ate it all. 8 days left before the big sale goes through, and I had quite an encounter of the worst kind this morning. The trends came in at about, it probably came in about 1, but they diddled around in here, so we didn't get them until 2, and they were okay. But anyway, so I went out to the copying machine in the hallway at the top of the stairs to see if my copies of the trends might be sitting there, and guess who was standing there, George? Guess who was standing there right by the copying machine at 9:30? Jeff Clark and Bob Green. And I said, good morning. And Jeff Clark said, good morning. And Bob Green went, waddled away. And I went, oh, all right. And then I came in here and told Adam that. He says, oh, he don't speak to me either. Do you speak to him? He tries, and he doesn't respond like you're not there. Like I said, 8 days. 7 for Rick and Suds, 8 for this kid. So anyway, the trends did come in yesterday. Today, I've got something new and different I'm going to do. It's called Screw Around. No, seriously, I'm going to play all this stuff from this rack and this rack, stuff we haven't heard. And you like that Boca? I didn't even realize that was Boca Brian. Well, hell, we're not going to get any calls, so I'm not going to aggravate myself with 8 days left before the sale. I'm going to worry about these bastards. You see, I'm going to tell you what impact you can have in this country, like me. Oh, yeah, you got such impact. You got such power. Right. I'll tell you the impact I have. How many years have I been talking about the invocation at the football games? How many years? Like many, many years. Probably ever since I came here. Because I don't understand it. I don't understand why people go along with it. Why do people feel they have to be sheep? The PA announcer comes on and says, okay, drop your drawers. Stick your finger in your nose. Stick your finger in your rectum. Whatever he says, they just do it. Everybody please stand now and bow your head. And here's some Getchke out there with some religious, at a football game, with a religious exercise. And so I said, I'm just going to protest. I'm going to sit down. And then Fat Rich, because he sits there next to me and he's trying to and I give him credit for it. He sits on his fat ass. Plus, he's too lazy to get up anyway. And that's it, out of 75,000 people. Now, a couple of years ago, there actually were I think I had about another half a dozen people who at least told me that they weren't getting up during the invocation. So out of 75,000 people, if I have such clout that I can... And I realize I'm not going to change the world. I mean, most people will give you the God bull crap, and they'll tell you they believe in religion and they believe in God and all that other, even though they don't. Because it's just not fashionable in this country to say otherwise. But you've got to know that there are more than 2 people out of the 75,000 who are not happy about having to get up while somebody out there is saying some religious prayer after you've paid $50 or $100 between parking and tickets and food and everything to go to a football game. And yet I can't get anybody. I mean, even if we got 20, wouldn't that be a start? You know, one year you get 20, the next year you get 100, then all of a sudden you got a few hundred people, and everybody takes notice and says, guess what? There's some people out there who don't think that we ought to be saying prayers at football games, who don't want to be forced to go through some religious exercise at a place where it is totally inappropriate.
It's a movement.
Yeah, it's a movement, all right. You can smell it. I mean, you got at 75,000 people, you've got Presbyterians, you've got Seventh-day Adventists, you've got Fourth-day Adventists, you've got Mormons, you've got morons, you've got Jews, you've got of all the branches, by the way, you've got conservative, you've got Orthodox, you've got Reformed, you've got Hasidim, you've got Catholics, you've got atheists and agnostics and everything else. So why do you refuse to sit on your ass and help to put a stop to this? Well, it's not a big deal. Well, it should be a big deal because it's part of what's basically wrong with America, is the intolerance factor, baby, and everybody trying to foist their religion, their superstitions on everybody else. And you won't do it. And I want to know why. I want to know why you're such a bunch of sheep. Why are you such a bunch of lemmings? And I could sit here for 4 hours today and get all worked up and bent out of shape about that and still get no response. So what's the point? So I started to say that paper towels, we haven't played that. I didn't even know that was a Boca Bryant bit. That's how old that is. There's stuff in these two racks that I haven't played since before Alan Courtney was a child. And we're going to do it today, man. Because look at that board. Look at that board. And the trends came out, and I'm going to be honest with you. Considering everything that we've gone through this summer, not all that bad. We're sitting here with a 5.0 in midday, 25.54, which isn't the greatest. That translates out to about a 5.3, 5.4, whatever, between 10 and 2. But you know something? Under the circumstances, Rick and Suds had a nice comeback in this last month, thank God. Phil had a little dip there, but what does he care about that? He ain't going to be here. What does he care? In addition to which, if he left a real high number in there, that would be an impediment for Rick and Suds in the afternoon. We don't want to have him, have to jump over a high hurdle. Let's start with the low hurdles, and then we'll work up to the big ones. So they were not all that bad. In fact, the 18 to 34, we went up. Were you aware of that? We went up 18. Men, we went up. You know where we went down? Old farts.
Women?
Old farts and women. I told you we got no women. So like yesterday when I asked about, at your request and behest, by the way, because you want to rip Rimmer, and I asked about those Rimmer shows and the hockey shows, and what did I get? 3 women who don't like that stuff. Oh, yeah, too much hockey, too much, yeah. Okay. 3 women. Well, we don't have any women. Why should we gear the show toward women when we don't have any women anyhow? 10:13 at WIOD over.
Are you ready to surf the net? Do you want to be hooked up to the World Wide Web and all the information can be right at your fingertips? Well, I guess you need to go to school and learn about computers, huh?
Bill Hendrie, 2 to 6 p.m. on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
What's with this Ron and Ron?
2 of the dumbest white men that I have ever met in my entire life, but that's a whole different story. We'll get to it a whole different time.
If you're a heavy metal rock star, you know that jockeyage can turn onstage ecstasy into agony. That's why you should use Motley Crue X, because you don't have time for the unsightly and uncomfortable itching that goes along with wearing tight black leather pants. Motley Crue X.
I can't get ready to rock, can't get ready for stage until I spray on my Motley Crue X.
Motley Crue X blocks jock rot so you can rock non-stop. Look for free backstage pass with every purchase. Offer valid for nubile 14-year-olds only.
10:17 at WID. So George went to the Kiss concert last night.
I want to give you a kiss.
Exactly. And it was great?
It was great, and I'm deaf. Thank you, Tracy Neely, for getting me seats way too close to the speakers than I thought
Deaf and hoarse, too, I noticed.
What? Oh, well, you got to scream, too.
Oh, come on.
It's required.
Come on.
I was reliving my childhood. I was too poor to go.
Evidently, yeah.
When I was a teenager, I couldn't afford
Well, that's what I'm
anything.
doing here. Arena ballot rewarded. Foes need to vote yes. See, this goes on in Dade County all the time. This is how they got the Metro Rail through. They faked the people out. People against it were supposed to vote yes, and they figured, well, if I'm against it, I vote no. But guess what? They did a quick switch around. And even Maurice Ferre says, we need that arena. And he says, I'm going to do everything within my power to help it get built, whether the people want it or not, is basically what he's saying. And Mickey Arison urged the commission to reverse the language, and they did. Instead of having it originally the way Dan Paul had on the petitions and saying if you're against it, you vote no, which makes sense. Now, if you're against it, you vote yes. That's the way it's going to be on the ballot unless they can get changed. So Dade County, once again, trying to subvert the will of the public, trying to pull a fast one, and Dave Hyde's got the balls to write about what a great guy Mickey Arison is, and isn't it a shame people are ripping him? Dave, I'm serious. Defoe must be slipping this guy drugs on Thursday nights. It's unbelievable the stuff that gets written in the papers here now. Yeah, I feel so bad for Mickey G, and Dad's got most of those billions over there in Israel. What a shame. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil. Morning.
Yes, sir.
I know you don't read the Herald, but I was just looking at letters to the editor. And
you couldn't mean the one by Aaron Summers from Passion. I got that here.
Yeah,
I'm all set, man. I got all the crap.
Okay. And also, you got to read the one where the traffic light is at. If that doesn't tell... driving to Miami, I don't know what does. From Joe Patrone.
I want to know why the people stand for the invocation at the football games.
Yeah, well, I don't. I never have.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Well, when I've gone to games, I'm one of the other, besides you and Fat Ritz, to sit down. I don't stand up and for that.
I don't believe it.
I swear I don't. I never have.
Yeah, get out
I've never gone from the Orange Bowl, back when it would go to the Orange Bowl.
And you don't stand for the invocation?
So I've gone to Joe Rugby Stadium twice, and I used to go to games in the Orange Bowl for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And I never stood. And it was always the Catholic priest and all that, And
I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a rabbi, a priest, a getchki. I don't care what it is out there. There shouldn't be any prayer at a football game, especially when you're paying to get in.
Exactly.
If I want to go to shul or church, I'll go there. Of course, you have to pay to get in there, too, but that's beside the point.
Hey, let me ask you.
Keep it where it belongs.
Is Defoe hopefully going to stay with you guys?
I haven't got any idea.
I tell you what. I mean, I was switching back and forth yesterday between Fat Hank and they had asked the program director on. I swear to God, he listens to your show.
No kidding. Hey, morning, Hank. How you doing, Fatso?
Yeah, maybe I can relay a message too. Because I don't understand that. You go screenless. Why do these guys have to screen their calls? I mean, what are they, chicken?
Yes, they have to. That's why their station's so boring. Because they want to orchestrate the show, which makes it very contrived.
Really?
And anybody who wants to take a shot or do anything, they're not going to get on the air. So
and then
it's
these little
boring.
Punky guys that they got to answer the phone over there.
Well, how about I don't mind punky guys answering the phone. How about punky guys on the air like Steve Goldstein in the morning? I'm serious.
Oh.
He may be the nicest kid in the world. I don't wish him any bad luck.
Right.
But that kid has got the most annoying voice. He makes you almost want Boog Shambi and what's his name back.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this kid is just... He talks like this. He sounds like somebody has just absolutely sliced his balls off, and there's not even an ounce of fuzz left there. There's just nothing there. And how can he possibly be on the air? I don't get it.
You got me. I tell you what, I wish that, what's his name, Asham would grow some balls, man. Goldberg just runs all over this guy. Ask the program director.
Well, of course, because Goldberg's got the only numbers on the station, and the program director is going to get canned soon anyway. What difference does it make? Huh?
What was Fat Hank's numbers?
Let's see, 20. I know that Phil beat him again, thank God. And I know that the morning show beat QAM in the morning again, thank God for that, too.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen when...
Let's see, Phil had a 3.6, Hank had a 2.7, 25.54. And in men... I guess we got to see men because he'll be saying, well, it's the sports station. We only care about men. Everybody's always trying to, hedge their bets. Howard had a gigantic trend, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that before his sycophants start calling. And how come you're not mentioning Howard? He had a gigantic trend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What am I looking at? Men? Phil had a 5.3, and Hummer had a 4.9. So pretty close, but Phil beat him anyway.
Yeah, but he's going to be going up big time now that Phil's leaving. I mean,
why is that? In other words, you think Rick and Suds are not going to do well against Hank?
He's going to bury Rick and Suds.
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
we'll see.
I hope not.
I hope you're wrong.
Yeah.
Say a prayer.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Happy Yom Kippur. We got some tremendous response on the phone already this morning. There's a cell call on there. That's it. 751-9463. Oh, how I long for the old days, boy, when we had an audience. 751 WIOD in Dade, 524-9463 in Broward, 1-800-944, etc., etc., etc. See, that's another one of those topics. Well, he's an atheist, He's one of those fag atheists. Yeah, by the way, Spiro Agnew's dead. Oh! All right. 1023 at WIOD, if you know.
News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
Hi, everybody. This is Gilbert, and they don't come any better than Neil Hodges, and I like it when Neil sits in on my show.
Okay, 1027. I told you I was pulling all the crap out of those racks, and I pulled out the big one, the big bomb. Here's Miami on the purple line. Hello.
Unbelievable. Happy New Year, Neil.
And back to you.
I just left a parking lot in West Dade that had an inordinate amount of handicap spots, but now have you seen the baby carriage spots?
Uh-huh.
You have?
Yes, I have. Yeah, we talked about that.
How do you get those?
How do you get what?
The baby carriage spots.
You stick a baby carriage on the in the passenger seat. That's how you get it. I haven't got any idea. Is there a special permit? I don't know.
I couldn't believe that. Half the spots in this building...
Don't you understand that if you're like a regular schlepper, if you're not a cripple, if you don't have a little pain-in-the-ass kid that you're schlepping around, you got to park 2 miles from any... They have a spot for that, though, for what he just said. You just drop a little bomb, and that's it. It's the shot spot. So is this going to be like this all day today? Is this the way our final 8 days under Cox Enterprises are going to go? We're getting the silent treatment. 7-5. And I'm going to tell you something. You are going to talk sooner or later, whether you like it or not. You're going to address my question. I've been trying for 20 years to find. Don't you understand what it is to be a sheep? Doesn't it embarrass you? See, you probably think that just sitting there in the middle of 75,000 people and standing out like a sore thumb, that's embarrassing to us. Not in the least bit. Not in the least. You should be embarrassed that you're so easy to be manipulated and you can't think for yourself. It's the course of least resistance. Well, everybody else is going to stand up, and it's just something you do. So I sure don't want to stand out like a sore thumb and have other people around me looking like, oh, how come he must be an atheist? How come he ain't standing up?
But they like being sheep. The Lord is my shepherd.
Yeah, the Lord is my
Lambs
shepherd,
of
and therefore
God.
I'm going to be a professional
They're
sheep.
proud of it.
Unbelievable. 751-9463. 751 WIOD in Dade. And this is the reason that things are the way that they are. This is the reason that the Farbissen are ruling this country, man, because the rest of you are just sitting there like you got lockjaw. 524-9463. I'll put the microphone right down here and wait. Until hell freezes over, man, and I'm finished with this cigar. And if I play my cards right, that can be about 155. What are you laughing about?
I can't hear a damn thing you're saying.
Good. That's the idea. I don't care.
I'm sure the audience can. I'm just deaf.
No, they can't. They can't hear it. They don't want to hear it. He's not going to tell us what to do. Great. You just go ahead and continue being a lemming all your life. Be my guest. Have no balls. Have no courage. Just be another one of those, another one of the masses, another faceless putz. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
All right. Hey, I've been a Dolphin season ticket holder last year and this year.
Yeah.
And we do not stand for the invocation.
Oh, get out of here. Hey, you're full of crap.
You want to bet?
Yeah, you know something? I go out of my way to look. Of course, everybody's standing in front of me,
Neil,
so it's hard
I'm
to
on
see.
the upper section. How the hell are you going to see me up
Yeah,
there?
that's a good point.
I swear to God, we do not. I stand for the national anthem, but I
Right.
do not stand for the invocation.
Yeah,
And we
as
are
soon as the
probably-
invocation's over, at that point I stand up,
we are
and that's
probably the only
it.
two within my whole section. I mean, everyone, you know.
So now we're up to, let's see, that guy, well, he don't come to the games anyway, so you two and us two, 4. Now we're up to 4.
That's probably about the only in the whole stadium. But hey, you know, I'm not doing it.
Why are these other people doing it? Do they come there to participate in religion or to see a damn football game?
Sometimes I don't even think they really even realize what's going on.
Oh,
They just-
yeah, right.
just
Give me a
everyone stands,
break.
so they
Come
stand
on. They know exactly what's going on. That Getchke's out there. Do you see that bitch with that red dress? With that checkerboard dress where she looked like Aunt Jemima on a bad day.
Yeah. And I got to agree with you, too, about what you guys were talking about yesterday. I don't wash my hands after I go to the urinal.
Rick Riley is like a fuss budget. He's obsessed. He's like, Howard, if you've seen Rick lately and see the schmutzy way that he looks, I mean, what's he worried about cleanliness for crying out loud?
I mean, I know I'm clean.
Looks like
down
Charles Manson on a bad day lately, and he's worried about cleanliness? He's probably got more schmutz growing in his beard than on any 4,000 toilet seats.
That's true. He does look like Grizzly Adams.
Exactly.
All right, Neil.
Okay, pal.
See you, buddy.
See you on your seat. That's the seat you ought to be worried about, is the one you're paying big money for. Okay, everybody stand and wave those banners now. Everybody stand. Oh, geez, like I said, going to a sporting event nowadays, everything is orchestrated. Every time you fart. Okay, everybody squeeze real hard now. Oops, sorry, I thought it was going to be a fart. Everything has got to be orchestrated, just like with the music, just like with the same stuff. I mean, if each team was like a little bit different, a little original, and had different music they played, why does it have to be the same music in every stadium, in every arena, okay?
That's sports music.
Da, 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 da. Why do we have to keep doing that? Can't somebody assassinate Gary Glitter already? First it was Six Pack, next it's Gary Glitter, that's what I say. Get his ass. Enough with that. Jeez, the same tired old... How is it that years ago we went to a sporting event and they didn't have all this plastic, synthetic, artificially generated enthusiasm? You want to know why? Because it was exciting. It stood on its own. Not anymore. Most of what you go to now is so watered down, and so like that game on Sunday. I don't care what anybody says. That was really weak. It was ponderous. Oh, no, it was great. We won. Okay, we won, so it was great. Exactly. If we win, it's great. And if we lost like 74-73 in overtime, then it would have been boring. Here's a lady mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
You keep talking about men and whether they wash their hands. What about women?
We don't have any women listening. Why should I be asking about that?
Well, it's true. I mean, for women...
You've got a little problem there that we don't have.
But there's another...
Although I do know some
situation.
men who sit down to pee, though, but that's beside the point.
But we also have to flush the toilet with our hand. Then we have to turn on the faucet, turn it off, and then we have to go over to the wash to get a paper towel and push that thing down to to
You
release
have to push that thing down, yeah.
to release the paper towels. By that time, your hands are filthy again.
I think I brought up the definitive, and I stopped everybody in their tracks yesterday, all these fuss budgets that are so worried about germs, and I asked that one guy, I said, before your lady friend administers oral sex, do you wash off your penis? And he said no. Oh. Now, why are you laughing?
Because that's really disgusting.
Is it more disgusting than talking about taking a dump?
No.
I don't think there's anything disgusting about oral sex.
No, but the whole thought.
What about her? Does she make the guy?
Yeah, well, that's what I was getting to. That I was leading up to that, trying gently.
So.
Huh?
So?
You make your mate, your whoever, your husband, your boyfriend, or both. You make them wash their penis before you would do it?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't think about it, I guess.
Oh my! And now, let me ask you, where do you think there are more germs, on the toilet seat or on that thing?
On the toilet seat.
You really believe that?
I don't know. I really don't.
Now, don't you read in your newspapers almost every day about all the, and you can't get AIDS on a toilet seat, but I mean, don't you read about all these sexually transmitted diseases? Yes. Herpes and all this other stuff, and hepatitis A, B, C, and D. Now, let me ask you something. How many people do you know that pick up stuff off a toilet seat?
I don't know anybody who ever has.
Ah! How many people do you know that picked up something through a sexual encounter?
I don't know anybody.
Well, you don't know anybody, but you know there are a lot of them.
Nobody's going to admit it anyway.
Huh?
Nobody would admit it.
But you know that there are millions who do.
Yes.
Millions.
Well, there's one thing, you can't get venereal diseases or any of that in Italy.
You what?
Do you remember a lot of those restrooms that you would go to? It's just like a hole in the floor. Did you go to any of those?
No, I've never seen. No, as a matter of fact, I was in one where there was like a hole in the floor, right? But not the way you make it sound. It's like a ceramic, but it is a hole in the floor.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly, and then it's co-ed, and so there's not one for ladies and one for men. It's just you share it, one at a time. But I mean, oh my God, we were in Venice and they had those all over, and same with Verona and Bolzano.
I think they just do it in the canals in Venice.
Oh, you're right. I would never go back to that city. I've
never been there, and I have noticed there. If I want to see dirty water, I can just go out here and look in the bay and watch the water change to deep brown. I don't need to go to Venice.
I also have to ask you another question. What do you think about the new Dolphin cheerleaders? Nobody's really said anything, and they made such a big deal.
I think they're, being one who doesn't really care myself for obvious reasons, but I think that they're highly overclad. I think that they have too much clothing on.
Oh, really?
Don't you? I thought that they brought in the director of the cowboy cheerleaders, who are Bambi Woods and all those. I thought they brought those people in, and they were going to really jazz it up. But Wayne, of course, wants this very staid, this family environment. It's got to be PG rated, so they got all this extra clothing on.
Right.
Well, the guys that come out there to see the cheerleaders, they don't want to see that. They want to see them naked, at least topless.
Skins to win.
Right.
Yeah. So how about my Green Bay Packers?
They're awesome.
Aren't they?
They really are, yeah.
Did you look at the Sports Illustrated article that they did on them?
Yeah.
They did a nice job.
I think they're going to be the team to beat. I really do, right, as of right now. As of 3 weeks.
One other question.
In closing, yes?
I don't understand. We have that little farm league for the Panthers.
The what?
The little farm league in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Or South Carolina, wherever it is.
Yeah.
Do we pay them as part of our budget, the Panther budget? Does that come out? Do they get salaried there or just very minimal? And can we call them up like a baseball league anytime?
Yeah, we can call them up, but as far as the salaries, I don't know how that works with the affiliates. I have no idea. I don't. I mean, it doesn't come out of the Panther budget. They have their own budget, and they have their own attendance and their own whatever. But I don't know how that works. But yeah, we can call them up. Because they said that they have 44 players now, and they're going to narrow it down to 30. Yeah. Would they all go to the farm league then, or a lot of them will just? They're going to the farm. Okay. And some of them are buying the farm. Have a great day, sweetheart, and wash that thing off. Yeah, okay. Okay. She never thought about it. See, leave it to me to come up with the instant rebut for these silly fuss budgets. Oh, I'm washing off that toilet seat and the knobs on the sink. Yeah, right. All the things that people put right in their mouths. Just imagine the germs, the teeming germs, if you only had a microscope. Feh! Wouldn't stop me. 10:38 at WIOD.
Bob Rubin and Dave Hyde with Jeff DeForest, the sports writers on the radio. Sports talk worth remembering. Thursday nights at 6 p.m. on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD. When you talk live on 610 WIOD, you'll be recorded, and we'll play the tape back whenever we feel like it.
But if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give. My penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted to help children all over the world.
But at least wash it off, will you please? 1041 at WIOD. We got an open pair in Broward. Thanks to Stephen up in Wilton Manors, who knows who he is, for sending me a couple of Mafia books. There's one called Gangland by Howard Bloom, How the FBI Broke the Mob, about John Gotti, soon to be a major motion picture, it says, from Columbia Pictures. And The War Against the Mafia by Tim Shawcross, the inside story of a deadly struggle against the mob, as in... Oi! Thank you, Stephen. Here's Miami on the Purple Line. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Neil?
Okay, sir.
You heard about that guy they caught that molested that little kid in the park?
Yeah.
Did you hear what happened to him in jail?
Yeah, they beat the crap out of him. I say hallelujah.
Yeah, he's going to get it every day until they kill him. He's going to end up like Dahmer.
Yeah, great.
All right, that's it, Adam. Have a good day.
Thanks for the good news, okay? We have an open line on the Purple Line, pound IOD, Mobile 1, AT&T Wireless. Do you hear that Abe Lincoln's got a headache? 2 open lines in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. Did you hear Aaron Summers wrote a letter to the editor in the Miami Herald and about the fact that she was looking for a job since early in the year, and about she also thanks Bob Green of Cox Broadcasting and Mark Lass of Press Broadcasting for carrying passion phones. Both companies believe in my freedom of speech. It's been my pleasure working for both of them. Yeah, that's why they took you off the air, sweetheart. Oh, that's right. It was Paxton took him off the air. Sorry. As if she would have still been here anyway, right? Here's Paul Harvey Jr., who just can't stop.
You know, her show was innovative for about a week.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Well, she had like 4 or 5 topics, and after you are exhausted with 4 or 5 topics, what are you going to do after that?
I don't know. Listen,
are they big? Are they small? Are they round? Are they huge? All that, and that was the end of it.
I've got to tell you.
But she had a great ass.
Did she? I don't know.
She had a dynamite ass.
Really
That's the rumor in the building. She had the best ass in town. The worst show and the best ass, okay?
Didn't make much of a difference.
Now, you see, now when we get a new show, what we're going to do is go out and look for somebody with the worst ass, and then they might have the best. Like me, I got the worst ass and a great show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All I can visualize is pimple.
Oh.
Anyway.
Jesus. You're a good one to talk about complexions, man.
Venice is phenomenal. As long as
you know something? So is Chris Moore, okay? One thing about you is you're consistent. Your taste is in your
rectum.
Get out of here.
You know what? And so is yours.
Yeah.
So is yours. Anyway, listen, the hole in the ground is more sanitary than sitting on a seat because you never touch anything.
That's true, unless you have a little slip and fall.
Oh, man. And let me ask you, is there anything wrong with standing up to wipe your butt?
Meaning what?
Oh, because my wife thinks I'm insane. I've asked a couple of Italian friends of mine, and they all stand up to wipe their ass too.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody in the world who stands up to wipe.
I'm sorry, but I do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, are you looking in the mirror while you're doing this? Yeah.
What's the sense?
It's old ass face, folks.
Let me ask you. What's the sense in washing your hands in a public place? Because as soon as you grab the doorknob, you know 500,000 other people didn't wash their hands.
Yeah.
You got to grab the doorknob to leave, so you've contaminated yourself again. So why even wash your hands?
Don't you understand? It's a mindset. In other words, people. This is just like the people standing up for the prayer at the ball game. It's the same thing. People are easily conditioned, so they've been conditioned to believe that the worst germs, the ones that are definitely going to get you, are the ones associated with
squirt.
With those two bodily functions. That's where the evil germs are.
Squirt is actually sterile.
Yeah, but people don't believe that.
I mean,
didn't you hear what Rick Riley was saying about the backwash?
I don't listen to his show.
Why not?
I don't.
Oh, you don't want to be the one? Is that it? Hey, they went up to a 2.9, man.
Okay.
Which isn't a 2.2, but it ain't too good. But I mean, what can I tell you?
Okay.
They'll be great in the afternoon. They better be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will be. They used to be. As long as they don't bring back all those the wheel of meat and the cow noises and you remember all that crap.
The prize ass. The cow. Yeah.
All that stuff.
Spencer says he's got a prize ass he'll send you.
Hey, do you want to know the definition of a waste of money?
What is that?
Neil O'Donnell's contract.
Yes, that's right.
Is he the biggest stiff?
You know something? Professional sports is 90%. I mean, if I weren't such a big hockey fan, I would just forget about all of it. I'm so fed up. I'm so disgusted with the Nike logos. I mean, commercialization is one thing, but it's gone to such madness now. And the worst part of it is the sky's the limit. The public has an insatiable appetite. It's like the Tyson fight. He could fight Spencer, and you'd have like 20 million guys spend $50 to watch it last 4 seconds.
I don't know.
To watch Spencer get his teeth knocked out.
I don't know one idiot.
I'd pay for that.
I don't know one idiot that paid for that fight.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
Well,
I really
plenty
don't.
of them did. They made millions of bucks, pal.
Unfortunately, I think hockey is about 5 years behind basketball, football, and baseball as far as the big
Not
dollars.
in my life.
All right, well, look what's Van Beesbrook making.
No, it's never going to happen. The revenue isn't there. It's never going to happen because
I hope not.
The big bucks in those other sports comes from television, and you're never going to have the kind of interest, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately, you're never going to have that kind of money flowing in hockey that you do in those other sports.
But how
it's
do
just
you
not there.
I mean, let's say the sport becomes so. I mean, it's getting hot now. Let's say.
But it's not going to happen.
You don't think?
No.
I don't see why not.
In addition to which, for the most part, you're dealing with these. You like Robbie Niedermeyer, okay? I had dinner with him the other night. I don't want to drop any names, but here's a nice little kid from Medicine Hat. Well, he's satisfied with $1 million or whatever. He got a nice bonus. He's satisfied with whatever he's getting.
Yeah. And
he can afford to buy a fancied meal at Chili's.
What are his toilet habits like?
I don't know. I said yesterday I didn't follow him in there, okay? But next time when you meet him, I'm sure you'll be the one. Have a good
day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good excuse. Oh, I wasn't following you into the restroom. I just wanted to check out your toilet habits. We're taking a survey. Right. What do you want, Spencer? Why are you standing there holding up the door?
I was looking at you talk.
Did you know that Rick Riley had a 2.9 in the last trend? No. Are you impressed by that? Say no. No. Okay. Spencer's not too happy with that number, Rick. You're going to have to butch it up in the afternoon. That'll be all right.
You got that right.
Exactly. Or else, right? They'll be all right or else.
That's right.
Right. That's what Spencer said. Get out of here now.
When we say Dolphins on radio, we mean Semper and Mad Dog.
He's in for a touchdown! It's a score by the Dolphins! All right!
Turn down the TV sound and crank up the Dolphins on the only radio station you remember when the Dolphins play. News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
KRKE with Mike Olson at 3:06. How's everything going along this morning? Well, I'm glad to hear it. Here is Sean Cassidy. This is Kansas. I love it. I wish I knew what was going on here. It'd help me out some a little bit. We're gonna try and play Kansas and Dust in the Wind at 3:08. This is Mike Olson at KRKE.
He can work for us, though, because he said, hot dang. Anyway, it's 10:53 at WIOD. So anyway, I'm looking at the coast numbers, and, man, talk about taking a swan dive, especially, guess what day part they really went in the toilet?
Mornings?
3.0 in the morning for Johnny Dolan. I mean, when the coast gets down to a 3. When you're cranking out 100,000 watts of FM power. When you're cranking out Gloria Estefan nonstop and Michael Bolton over and over again until you want to puke your brains out, and you can only get a 3.0. I'd say not only are those ugly pictures and caricatures, but the handwriting's on the wall too, Johnny. That's what I would say for Johnny Dolan. But have a nice day, Johnny. We wish you best of luck in the industry. And don't forget, make a lot of crank calls to all the shows, okay, Johnny? It's been nice knowing you. And by the way, you do still look like a fat, puffed-up chipmunk. That's one thing about Johnny. You can't say he has no nuts. Here's Boynton Beach. Hello. Boynton Beach is gone. Okay, thank God for that. You know who that probably was. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, you're hot tonight.
Yeah, I am.
Guess what?
And this afternoon, too.
My social environment teacher.
Your what?
That nut, that social environment teacher I have. It's that guy you used to have on before.
What are you talking about? What language are you speaking?
Okay, here we go.
Your social environment teacher.
Yes, I go to MDCC.
Right.
Okay. My teacher, man, this guy talks like you, looks like you, and everything. And I'm like, oh, my God, wait, I got to ask this guy. And I told him, hey, do you listen to Neil?
And he said, of course not.
And he said, what? Listen to Neil. He says, he invited me to be on his show.
Who is it? What's his name?
The guy. He told me to tell you, remember about the baby dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. Dino Cicerelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy. Okay, thanks a lot, pal. Good to see you're getting a good education. What language was he speaking? We have an open line at Dade, 751. We got a big open pair in Palm Beach. Your days are numbered like in single digits. 1-800-944-9463. 1-800. Oh, won't that be a bad break when Paul Harvey Jr. has to pay for the call and call long distance? Won't that be bad? Boy, I sure hope it don't cut down on the frequency of his calls or his urination. Here's Miami Springs. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Back to the standing for the...
yes, thank you.
Prayer stuff. These people are idiots. First of all, stand up for that.
But wait a minute. How come it is that only the people who agree with me are calling in? I want to hear also from the people who do stand up. Maybe I'm wrong, huh? Maybe I'm disrespectful.
I only agree with you halfway because I don't even stand up for the flag.
Well, that's up to you.
So why do you stand for the flag? Isn't that the same thing? You're just being like a sheep there.
No, I'm not. I do it because I choose to do it because I respect what it stands for. Sporting events, even when you go to the track, they have the national anthem at 6 o'clock. It's a tradition.
Yeah, but you're just being a sheep again.
No, I'm not. You do it if you want, and if you don't, if I didn't feel like doing it, I wouldn't do that either. I'm not being a sheep. I do it because I, show a little respect for the flag. That's all.
So
it's done at it's done at every sporting event all over the world. It's done at the Olympics. It's done at soccer games, baseball. It's a tradition. Religious exercises don't take place at any other sporting event in the world, anywhere, except at football games.
Well, that's a tradition too. Why can't they do that too then?
I'm pointing it out to you. It's not a tradition. It's not a sports tradition. It's an NFL tradition. It's been foisted on the public.
Okay, whatever. Well, they're just idiots to stand for the flag or that. I mean, I think you ought to just sit down for the flag, too.
Oh, in other words, you're telling me what I ought to do. Is that it? I'm not telling people that they ought to sit down. In other words, if it doesn't bother them, fine. I have no problem with that. But I know there are a lot of people who don't believe in all that bullcrap, and they still don't have the guts to sit down.
I think it's a little hypocritical for you to
No, it is not. In other words, I pick and choose, okay? I pick and choose. I'm not just out there to be some kind of a protester, and everything that everybody else does, I'll do the opposite just to be contrary, which sounds to me like what you're doing.
No,
I respect the flag, okay? I don't mind if somebody burns the flag. I don't give a crap about that. But if they're going to have the national anthem, I'll stand. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, what does the flag have to do with football?
Let me say it again. Every sporting event in the world, football, baseball, hockey, the racetrack, every sporting event in the world, they do it.
So?
It's tradition. And
who cares about tradition? Why?
There are some traditions that are worthwhile, and there's some that are a bunch of crap. And you don't want to differentiate. You're saying that everything that's tradition is bull crap.
No, I think it's bull crap to stand for a piece of a flag.
What time do you eat dinner?
I eat dinner whenever I'm hungry.
Yeah, what do you eat for breakfast?
I eat a bagel, some coffee.
Oh, coffee. Why do you have coffee in the morning?
Because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, right. It's tradition.
Well.
Why don't you have a steak in the morning?
Well, I don't eat meat.
Why don't you have, you don't eat meat?
No.
Oh, listen, I don't have time for you. We have all the lines in Dade. There's another guy. He just is on his own. More power to you, pal. Do your own thing, but don't try to tell me what to do. 751-9463 in Dade. 751. Here's a intolerant militant. That's what this guy is. I'm not telling you to be militant. I'm telling you to use your brain, grow a little pair, that's all. And if you don't want to stand up for the flag, that ain't going to bother me either. I don't care. Pick and choose instead of just being led around by the nose. And I haven't heard, and I won't hear from one. I won't hear from one person today who stands up for the invocation at those ball games. Not one. You can bet on it. Here's Port St. Lucie. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're wrong. I stand for the invocation. I was there last Sunday.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not really what I called about. I believe in it, so I choose to stand. I mean, I respect anybody's opinion not to. That's fine with me.
Okay, you believe in it, though?
I believe in God, sure.
Okay. And you believe in whatever religion they're peddling at that time?
Oh, I thought it was a great invocation. She told them to get ready to rumble. I thought it was hysterical.
But that's the point. It's a joke.
Well, whatever.
Well, do you think that if there is such a thing as do you think that if there's such a thing as a God, that he cares whether the Dolphins win a football game?
Well, she didn't say who was supposed to win.
The hell she didn't.
I couldn't hear it that good. I was up in nosebleed.
Oh, but it was great, but you couldn't hear it. And when she went on about give Danny Marino strength on his birthday so we can kick some ass, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess she did say that.
Yeah, right.
We're really starved for good radio up here in the Treasure Coast. I'm sitting out in my car with like an 8-foot streamer of aluminum foil from the antenna.
Yeah.
I wish we could get something besides that J and O.
Why am I hearing that echo?
Because he's turning it up.
No, it's not.
Yes, he did.
That's not the delay.
He did. Yes.
I'm sorry?
It's not the delay, George. It's like 1 second afterward. It's, I don't know what it is. What is it? Hello?
Yeah, I have no idea. I guess you're having technical
It's on the
difficulties.
line. It's on this phone line.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to... Do you still play that bridge tender bit?
We have an open line in the purple line there where this clown was at pound IOD. We have one in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. What did he want to know? What was the question? Do we still play what with a bridge tender?
No.
Say it like this. 610.
No. No. No.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Oh, Neil, my queen. God.
Mr. Saddam, you're really mean. I bet you never thought we'd intervene. Your filthy greed has caused you to blunder, and now your diaper-headed days are numbered. You're a madman, Saddam Hussein. I think that you must have sand on the brain. We'll blow you to smithereens. Mr. Saddam, you're gonna get cream. Bum, 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 bum. Saddam. What? You crazy fiend. We're looking for you on our radar screen. So come out where you can be seen. No way! Mr. Saddam, you will please believe. Mr. Saddam, you will get cream. Oh, no!
11:06 at WIOD. So anyway, you know, I made a very simple point, okay, and that is that we all, or most of us, except the illegal aliens and the nose pickers and people like George who pretend to be Americans, but everybody else who's like at the game is an American citizen. So when they, you know, put up the flag and they play the national anthem, it's not. I don't think it's inappropriate to expect that because it's long-standing tradition in all sports that everybody would stand, or unless they don't want to, which is okay too. But the thing about the religion is an entirely different thing. It's personal, it's private, it's idiotic, and it is whatever it is. And as I said before, there's Methodists, and there's Jews, and there's all kinds of Goyim, and there's Arabs, and there's Muslims, and there's atheists, and there's Seventh-day Adventists, and there's morons, and there's Christian scientists, and Scientologists, and L. Ron Hubbub, and all of those different people there. It's not the appropriate place to have and every time they have somebody come out there, one week it's a priest, then it's like we had this broad the other day, this preacher, whatever she is, the preacher bit, and then we have the rabbi. It's not right. And it doesn't make any difference how clearly you show it right up there on the big board in the sky. Oh, no, you know, you're just a party pooper, that's all. We just want to go along and have a good time, that's all. We have 20 beers by then anyway, we don't care. Okay. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello.
Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's sad, but people can't understand that it's your choice. You choose to do what pleases you.
Yeah.
But if you tell them that, they go, oh, but I don't agree with that, so why should it be? You know, if they would just say, hell, that's fine, I choose to stand up, well, then stand up.
But I'd like to find out why. I want to find out why they're standing up. For example, if they got a Catholic priest saying a prayer.
Right.
And then the thing that really galls me is when they start throwing around the Jesus name in the middle of it when there's all these Jews in the crowd, you know.
Well, the thing is, some people, because they are sheep, they, regardless of the religion, they stand up to show respect for, you know, someone else's religion. If they choose to do that, that's fine. I mean, I
don't think that's why they're doing it. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Because they're sheep. And, you know, they just, if everybody stands up, it's like if you go in an elevator and everybody turns around and looks the other direction, you're going to do it too, or most people are too.
Yeah.
I would stand and say, hey, these people are freaking crazy. You know, but there are people, 90% of the people out there.
No, not 90%, 99 and 9/10%.
Right. Well,
whatever the PA announcer tells them to do, they'll get up and do it.
Of course. Do the stretch the hokey pokey, whatever the
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
They were even doing the hokey pokey at Marlin games in the beginning until they got laughed off the field.
If the guy says, take off your pants, and they start seeing other people doing it, they'll do it too.
Oh!
People have no mind, they have no soul, they have no balls. And, you know, they just go with the crowd. That's why you label them sheep, and you're right.
Talk about a lack of backbone, man. It's pathetic.
I mean, that's just the way it is. Because they'd rather be, they don't want to be different.
And yet, you know, football more than probably any other sport, even more than hockey, because football's so much more popular, football is associated with this macho mentality. You know, it's a real physical, ass-kicking game, and so you assume that the people who come to see football games and pay their hard-earned money are very similarly minded. You know, they want to see the contact. They want to kick some ass. And in the meantime, they're a bunch of pussies. Whatever they tell them to do, they'll get up and do it.
The only 2 or 3 people in the stadium at the time with balls are on the field, and those are the referees. And that's it. No one else has any balls. The society is the way it is. People would rather blend in than stand out and be different and be right or wrong. It doesn't matter. Let's do like everyone else does.
I think this country needs a ball transplant, if you ask me.
We need more balls.
Okay, pal. Bye. And a new phone. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463, 751-WIOD. We got a big pair in Broward, a big pair, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. Here's a mobile in Jupiter. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, sir.
Hey, I don't have no problem with people not standing up for the religious part, but I got to tell you, I do not understand any American or anybody that's in America that can't stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't think...
Pledge of Allegiance? When do we do that?
Well, the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's right.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's a feeling on the inside. I don't know if I could put it in words, but if you don't like it, then you could just haul ass. You don't have to, you could get on your plane and go to any country you want. I think it would...
So, in other words, all those kids that got shot at Kent State when Nixon was busy killing innocent people, that was okay? Is that what you're saying? Because they were...
Absolutely not. I'm talking about a flag. I'm not talking about
but they were taking a stand against their country, though, and you're saying that if you don't support your country...
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you. All I'm saying, Neil, I don't think standing up for the Star Spangled Banner is the same as backing the government, because I am almost the most anti-government person I know.
Yeah.
But I would stand for the...
Well, listen, basically, I don't disagree with you, because it seems to be very little to ask. It's just a gesture of respect. But again, I still say if this guy doesn't want to stand, I'm not going to get bent out of shape. That's up to him. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know, though. The way he sounded like he just wanted to argue.
Well, he sounds to me like, he's a vegetarian, he's this. He wants to be on the, whatever you do, he's going to do the opposite.
Right.
So, hey, that's up to him.
Hey, listen, I used to live in Miami. I moved up to the Port St. Lucie area where, I got to tell you, I know it's a little boring, but the people houses and stuff are a little bit different, but I do miss you, and I like listening to you. I'm on my way to Miami now.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you're a good guy. I know you want to hide that part of you, but you are a good guy.
I'm a great guy.
Okay. So
one of the best,
care,
I think.
buddy.
Okay, pal.
Bye.
See ya. I'd say one of the very best. We have 2 open lines a day. That's what Bob Green said this morning. Great guy. What's going on here lately, man? You just can't do it, can you? And this has happened this summer. Those of us on the air here, we're not going to take the blame for it. We, against all the odds in the world, in one of the most incredibly negative environments in the history of the human race that's been going on here for 4 months, and that's been made a hell of a lot worse than it had to be, too, by the way, we've just somehow managed to keep our heads above water. But you folks, man, you have been so recalcitrant, so retarded, that it defies description. You have nothing to say, no matter what it is that we're talking about, except, hey, do you still play the bridge tender? Yeah, we play him with a bridge tender. We got his left arm on a ceiling, and we got his rectum on the wall. How do you like that? We're playing with him right now. 751-9463 in Dade. We got 2 open lines in Broward, 524-WIOD. We got 48,000 open lines on the green lines in Palm Beach, 1-800-RECTUM. 1113 at WIOD. Heaven. What's with this Ron and Ron?
Coming Monday, September 30th, radio's bad boys are back in South Florida. Ron and Ron. Back in mornings, but now on this radio frequency, News Talk and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
You think Jennifer's trying to be a little pushy or something? She just handed me this again. Didn't she give me this yesterday? But she's right, I forgot to read it. Hawk to retire in style. Andre Dawson night set for Saturday. Pro Player Stadium, PP Puke. The Marlins announced they'll honor Andre Dawson with a pregame ceremony on Saturday, September 21st. That's this Saturday, when the Marlins host the Astros at 7:05 p.m. Numerous activities and announcements will take place to celebrate the Hawks' Major League Baseball career. In addition, the first 25,000 fans attending will receive a collector phone card featuring the future Hall of Famer with a recorded message, and et cetera and so on. Andre Dawson, God, baby, he's okay in my book. Classy guy, like I said, but what do you care? Okay, 751-WIOD, 524-9463 in Broward, 1-800, and we'll give you 45 or 60 other numbers, too. That'll kill some time. Just brutal, man. And it's always been this way. You bring up something like this, it's like they don't know how to react. They just don't know how to react, and they can't disagree intelligently. They can't legitimize. They can't give you an answer as to why. They just go along with the crowd and why everybody has to be sheep. They don't want to admit it. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Picked up the small dish about a month ago.
Yeah.
And as far as the picture, you were just a little bit off on it. It's not almost three-dimensional. It is three-dimensional.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's great.
As far as looking at the pens on KBL, I'm going to be able to get them on KBL, correct?
Yeah.
One of the things that bothered me was I also wanted to order the CBS, ABC, Fox affiliates. I wanted them all. I don't want to see anything on regular TV.
Yeah.
When I called to do it, they're telling me that because I still have cable for my other TVs in my other room.
You blew it.
Can't get it.
You blew it.
Can't get it because of
yes,
the
you can get it. You got to lie.
Uh,
where do you live?
Pembroke Pines.
Well, sure, they don't know what Pembroke Pines is. You could say, I can't pick up the local affiliates. I get a crappy reception.
Oh, boy.
You didn't lie.
I didn't know.
Well, they got to tell you that. When you get your satellite guy, he's got to tell you lie a lot, and they'll let you get the network affiliates.
He didn't tell me. I'm going to go after him for that.
Yeah.
But the other day, I guess
you could still call them in. You'll be talking to somebody different anyway, and just tell them that you've had it for however long, and you can't pick up the network affiliates where you are. They don't know where Pembroke Pines is. They haven't got any idea where it is.
Yeah, they're not going to trace me down.
Of course not.
Good. I'll disguise my voice.
Got to lie a lot. I mean, it's unfortunate,
Damn
but they
right.
force you into these situations, and so people do it.
Because as far as getting anything else, I mean, for the 2.5 years I've been out here, of course, with the cable that I have, I try to watch Monday Night Football. I got 13 shadows. I got everything else. It's ridiculous. I think I will do that. I'll recall them and tell them a little fib, and
sure,
that'll be that. But I'm glad you enjoyed yourself on Sunday down at the PP oven, huh?
Not in the least.
You have to take an umbrella.
That was one of the least. But why? I don't understand. First of all, I still can't figure out how I got sunburned sitting on a shady side for 4 hours. Secondly, I never heard from anybody who sits over on the other side. They were telling me before the game that everybody on the other side sits there with just all kinds of sunblock and creams and lotions and potions, which they must have to, because I can't imagine getting out of there without at least 10 melanomas. And it was just stifling. I mean, football in mid-September in this town, man.
I got that.
Without the dome, it's a rough go.
I've already got that licked because, number one, I bought the Sunday ticket. Number two, I'm a Steeler fan, and I wouldn't go down there if they paid me.
There you go.
I sit in front of the 50-inch TV, watch the direct ticket, and forget about it.
See, I mean, I'm trying. I really am. I bought the tickets because of Jimmy, and I figured we got a whole new regime going, and, it's at least going to be something exciting and different, and I'm trying to be, force myself to be a Dolphin fan again. And I just don't know. I'm really torn. I'm just not into it. I just watch it on TV when you can sit there and you're comfortable and you're relaxed. You don't have to go through the traffic and the parking and the bull crap.
Absolutely.
Well, what's the difference? I don't get it.
The way you were talking the other day, I can just tell I give you a couple more weeks beside the fact that...
I mean, I did not have a good time, okay?
Absolutely
and in the past, even when they were mediocre games, I generally thought, at least I had a fairly good time. Didn't have a good time on Sunday in the least. Not in the least bit. It was a very crappy experience.
Even though you got a couple biggies coming up and a couple of big Monday night games, one even against my boys, I'm not even going to go down there for that because...
And see, the night games, at least you don't have the problem with the discomfort. It's not as uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, true, with the heat.
But
you're jammed up there
until,
until
by the night games, on Monday night games here, man, there are more drunks and more rowdy and hysterical. That's not a pleasant deal either.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I think I'm going to give them another shot. I got a couple more days, and then I'm going to change my programming there. I'm going to give them another shot and tell them I got all kind of problems. Can't see anything.
Tell them you got nothing but dark shadows.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, pal.
Take care.
Pays to lie. That's our message. We have an open line in Dade, 751. We got all of Broward sitting there, just sitting on their haunches, waiting for us to do a tap dance for them, waiting for Sammy Davis to come back. 524-9463, 524-WIOD in Broward. 1122.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Bloodstream.
Rectum.
You make my swing. You show everything nudie. Yeah, butt string. But, String, I think I love you. But I gotta know for sure. Come on, let me pull you tight. I think I'll goose you. Oh! Bud String, let me see your ass sling. Be my plaything. Bud String. Bud String.
11:28 at WIOD. So anyway, I'm looking at the numbers here, the trends that came in yesterday. Women, that's where our problem was. Men, we did great. We actually went up in men, all of us. But women, oh, brother, we have hit rock bottom. We don't have any women. I told you that before. So what am I sitting here waiting to hear about guiding light? See, this is my mistake. I keep trying to go for what isn't there. So what's the point? What's the point of pandering to people who are there in such... It would be like saying, okay, let's have a show for all of our Chinese listeners today. And we don't have any. Maybe there's one. Maybe there's somebody out there who's got a little Chinaman in him. But other than that, I mean, 1.8, even... Now, I realize that the light bulb, you're talking all ancient, over the age of 100. Even Alice Rantel in the morning on the light bulb has got a 2.3 in women. Rick and Suds a 1.8. Are you hearing that? The light bulb beats us in women in the morning, 2.3 to a 1.8.
Yeah, but they do all those kind of topics that women really like.
By old women, ancient.
Right.
Midday, we have a 1.9 in women. These last two trends, the lowest numbers in women we've ever had on this station, 1.6, and now it's up to a 1.9, which is pathetic, and Phil's got a 1.8. I mean, you're not talking about enough people to even mean anything. So there's the problem on this radio station, is the damn women out there. And getting back, one other thing about the thing with washing your hands I was just thinking about. People sit in their cars with their hands on the steering wheel loaded with germs, touching the ashtray, touching the seat, touching whatever, touching somebody's seat, and then they bite their fingernails. Right?
Or pick their nose.
Or pick their nose and chew it. Of course, there's no germs in your nose because you're just breathing the air out there. There's no germs in the air, of course. But it's another part of the conditioning. So you've been brainwashed into believing that somehow there's something dirty about going to the bathroom, about elimination. Therefore, must wash those hands. I mean, just get out that lava soap with the pumice in it, man, and just build up a big lather and wash that baby off. And the hands, too. And in the meantime, all the other stuff you're doing all day long, you're just inundated with germs. But, hey, it's who cares? It's the good germs. Here's Vero Beach on the Purple Line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's this line?
What is it?
You hear the line? The feedback?
Yeah, it's the line. It's the
hey,
phone. It's
what about Jenna's Beach Boy?
It's the connection. What about him?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
49-3, half-mile track.
Where was that, Northfield?
No, that was at Delaware.
Oh, a Little Brown Jug coming up, by the way.
Yeah, the senior Little Brown Jug.
Right.
So we're going to get a chance to hear Roger Houston
screaming and puking his guts out, yeah.
Exactly.
Or maybe he can have Jackie Lee fill in and he can say they're approaching the half-mile pole 17 times during the race.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, no, Roger likes to say, now fifth,
and by the way, for that Detroit asshole that called yesterday, I don't know this guy that called yesterday, if he's listening, but I'm sure he is, this miserable old fart, this Red Wing fan, which, by the way, the Panthers made it to the finals and you didn't. Kevin Wallace, they had three more winners the other night, Monday at Hazel Park. He's still driving. Jack Riggs went out of his way to talk about how he's smashing every record, about he's not only the leading driver, but also got the leading training percentage. And he went on and eulogized Kevin Wallace for like 5 minutes on the past show from Hazel Park last night. So that guy can go back to Detroit and blow it out his rectum.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What about Gretzky whiffing at the end of the game?
What about it? He sucks.
Loves it.
Yeah, he sucks.
Dave Pallone, God.
Okay, pal.
Oh!
Amen. That's my buddy Dave Pallone at the Meadows. Too bad I got Roger Houston there at the Meadows. Boy, Roger Houston, he's mung on two legs. We have two open lines. But again, who's Roger? What's he talking about? See, again, I'm talking about stuff that nobody out there, because this is you got to be pretty selective what you talk about in this town. I mean, there's only like 3 or 4 categories, and once you get beyond those areas, what? Huh? What language he be speaking? I don't know. Let's talk some things that the Haitians are interested in, like dead chickens. 751-946-63.
Well, they like them live.
Hey, they know about sanitation. They know about cleanliness and washing your hands. They better, because they're cooking in all those restaurants. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, knowledge and education like you, that's what's good. You're the one that's right. Who cares about germs in the first place if you have moderation and flexibility and you can understand and not be extreme and just go along with the program when you have to and not go along when it's right to stand up? A guy with courage like you, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
But I do not choose to run.
So what?
Because
You're
I'm
worth
fat.
it if you did.
Because I'm fat and old and can barely walk. Thanks,
yeah,
pal.
but you could be a factor.
Okay.
Thanks.
Max Factor. Have a great day. Okay, there you go. There's one of my old fart fans. He likes me. And then that other guy who said I wasn't such a bad guy after all. There's two. And my mama, she's still making lunch for me today. She's okay once in a while. So you see, there's a few people out there that still like the old fart for whatever it is. We have an open line on the green line, 1-800-944. It's pretty sad. It really is. And I think it's partly, I don't know whose fault it is. I'm not going to take any blame for nothing, okay? But when you got an audience, can you play the bridge standard? Can we get a shameless request? Hey, Phil, can you play,
It'll be on the CD by
Can
the
you
CD.
play Harvey Wireman again? If it gets so stale, so old, and you take stuff that was really great and funny and creative in the first place, and you bury it, you kill it, as opposed to be able to engaging in the fine art of verbal intercourse, okay? There's no germs involved in verbal intercourse, especially over the phone. Maybe now that we got these new phones where you can see the other person, you can also exchange germs. That would be good, especially during the sex calls. Here's Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
Talking about the religion.
Yeah.
With the ballparks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an atheist. It's just that it's such a sour note with the religion when you hear about like what's going over in the other countries or killing each other over religion and everything.
No kidding.
Yeah, how can you have such a good feeling? You know, you're supposed to go to the ballpark and respect it. If they're doing it at the ballpark, why?
I don't know. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me why. It's not the place to have a religious exercise. It's not the place for it.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to pray, say, and especially on a Sunday, go to church in the morning and say your prayers. Leave the rest of us alone already with this crap.
Yeah, I mean,
with this hocus pocus.
What's the
God bless the referees and bless the coach and the quarterback and bet on our team, and it's Danny's birthday and hope that he kicks some ass. Let's get ready to rumble. Get out of here, sweetheart. Go back and sew some knickers.
Well, the only thing I want to bring God into is, God, please lower the prices.
Right, exactly. and lower the volume on that damn scoreboard. My God.
No kidding.
If it gets any louder in there.
Yeah, I haven't been to a game in a while. I got a satellite and a big screen, so I just sit at home.
And isn't it great to be able to control your own volume and you don't have to be sitting there in the middle and your ears are... Have you ever been in a place where the speakers are so loud that your ears hurt?
Yeah, worse than a rock concert.
Yeah? Yeah, well, there you go. George was there last night to see Kiss. That's what I'm talking about. Your ears hurt, and there's nothing you can do. You're sitting there, and it's just ear-piercing. It's shattering.
Well, I called...
And they don't understand. This doesn't add to the enjoyment of the game. It makes for misery.
Right. Well, I called you a little while ago, and I told you I went to a Marlins game one day, and some guy spilled a whole beer down my back.
Yeah?
Before the game even started.
Well, at least he gave you the whole one anyway.
Yeah, he wanted me to wear his shirt. It's like, yeah, right. I'd rather go to the bathroom and not wash my hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good day.
Pal. Have a great day. Okay. I'm glad he had a good time, too. All right. Everybody that goes to Pro Player Park, Stadium, whatever it is, has a great time. Where's that Gary Glitter thing? Is that in here? I'm just going to play that the rest of the day. Da-da, hey! Da-da-da-da-da-da, hey! All day, over and over and over again. Which is almost as good as the college football. I notice one thing, they haven't missed a beat. They're still playing the same old stupid marches. Then, I think Mandich is on the inside of something there. Burger King has got a spot, which they were running during the Michigan-Colorado football game. And guess what they're playing, what music they're playing? They're playing the University of Michigan fight song. Da-da-da. Well, how does it go? I don't know how. Thank God I forgot how that goes. Every time I start doing one of those, I do the Michigan State fight song. All right. But then at the end, they say, eat like a Spartan, pay like a Wolverine. Or no, pay like a. That's what it should say. Pay like a Spartan, eat like a Wolverine. Isn't that cute? Not. They're playing the Michigan fight song on this is on national TV, on a national Burger King. They can take the University of Michigan and stuff that along with their what do they got? With their Whopper right up there.
Rectum.
That's what they can do. Hold the mayo, please. Hold the pickle, please. Oh, I forgot to play that the other day. Remember the guy wanted to hear that hold your pickle thing? Okay. 11:37 at WIOD. Here's something that looks like a pickle, but it's not. It's a cigar. 1-800-962-4427. Put something satisfying in your puss from Mike Cigars.
To protect your amateur status, you'll get no pay for appearing on Neil Won't Like It, the IOD Amateur Hour. Send your tapes, impress yourself, and humiliate your family. Neil Won't Like It, Sunday night at 11 on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Hey, Casey, I want to give you a
News,
kiss.
Talk, and Entertainment Radio.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio.
610 WIOD.
She's fat, she's lonely, and she's extremely boring. It's the new TV show, The Rosie Yo How Boring Show, with guests that are sure to put you to sleep, with topics like marriages that last, kids who do well in school, and girls who don't get pregnant. The Rosie Oh How Boring Show is a refreshing new show you're sure to enjoy if you're asleep.
Officer Prince wanted to get his rocks off.
Okay, 11:43 at WIOD. Mickey Rourke, there's got to be more cuts on there than that.
I've got a lot of friends that are on the police force here that in confidentiality have told me how much of an asshole Prince is.
Yeah. And what the hell just happened to that? Now that's interesting, huh? Okay, 11:43 at WIOD. We have the green lines waiting on you. You'll be done in a few days, by the way, and thank God for that. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Buongiorno, Neil.
Buongiorno, amico.
Hey.
Como va?
Listen, I don't know if you heard this or not,
See?
but a few weeks back, the wife and I were at a comedy club in Davie, Uncle Funny's.
Yeah.
And the house comedian was a girl, and she gets up and does her thing for a little bit, and she says, and now a new group that's on the comedy scene, Guess who? On stage, Mark Jacobson and Cox. Did you get it? Hello?
You have to be.
No.
You must be.
Yes. I'm not.
You must be. Please say you're kidding me.
I'll tell you what. They came up on stage, and guess I'm in the second row, and I yelled out, wait till Neil hears this. And the guy in front of me got it. He turned around and started laughing. They didn't say a word.
I'll tell you one thing. If George didn't like driving that Camry so much, I would go apeshot right here on the air now.
I'll tell you.
I mean, how much money does Mark Jacobson need to make? I mean, this ego thing, it's just like that TV show. He's not doing it because it's a big moneymaker. He's doing it because he really fancies himself as Johnny Carson Jr.
Oh, it was, and not that I dislike or like them.
Right.
But they're
pathetic.
Stunk.
Oh, my God.
They did their routine. They got as little laughs as you could possibly. They were up about 10 minutes and left. You heard a hearty clap in the audience, and off they went. Oh, God.
Oh, great.
The next time I go there, I'm going to check in just in case they're there again.
Yeah. Yeah, keep me posted.
That's it, pal.
Okay, thanks for the bad news.
Thanks. See you.
Hey, look, I don't come from a place where somebody says, my I'm going to walk away, okay? I don't know. Maybe you're from a different planet.
I want to give you a kiss. 11:45, we have an open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD, and 2 on the green lines. We've had a fantastic response. We've had 4,200 people call in today who promised that they will never stand up again during the invocation, that they want to be part of this new movement to try to remove religion from football and other places where it is totally inappropriate, unwanted, and especially when you got to pay to go in. We've had 42,000 people. We have had 178,000 people, all of whom were there on Sunday. Here's Goulds. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
178,001.
Yeah.
All right. A little report that I talked to you last week about the Atkins diet and the blood work.
Yeah.
Well, the cholesterol was 261 when I started, around 6 months. I wasn't on the Atkins then, but I had my blood done. 225.
Now.
4 weeks, yeah.
Great.
Fantastic. Everything's down, including my triglycerides.
To what?
No, everything's normal. He was real happy with it.
Beautiful.
And he just told me to take a little bit of niacin, like 1,500 milligrams.
Yeah.
Per day, and that'll bring the cholesterol down a little lower.
Niacin will do it?
That's it.
Of course, when you take niacin, you get a little flush.
Well, that's good, too.
Yeah.
When you're on the Atkins, you don't get that flush.
That's right.
too
It's
often.
good. It's nice to hear the sound of the flush on the Atkins because it doesn't happen too often. You're right.
Yeah. But everything else is working great, and keep the prayer out of the ballparks and out of the schools, too.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
God bless you, my child.
Take care, guys.
Keep it up.
Bye.
Okay, see, another great report on the Atkins. This should be the big... I know a lot of you are tired of hearing about it, especially all you skinny people. To you. But, boy, it should be the biggest thing in America today. And yet, you know which was the bigger seller? And I'm glad he already called. At least he can't call back. The Zone by Dr. Barry Sears, or whatever, Barry the Fairy, whatever he is. The Zone, in hardcover, was for weeks and weeks there on a bestseller list, outselling the paperback Atkins diet book, which I don't get it. I just don't understand it, because the Zone thing, I mean, to follow that, you got to get your calipers practically and measure the body fat. You got to have this number, and you got to multiply times this, and then divide by 16 and subtract your dog's birthday, and on and on and on. It's just not a practical thing for almost anybody, in addition to which it doesn't address a lot of these other issues about, like, blood sugar, etc. But, hey, what do I know, right? We have an open line. I sure do like those Snickers ice cream cone bars, though, or whatever those things are, the cones. Not the bars, the frozen Snicker bars, but the cones. And I got to stop eating those. All the mobile stations have them, by the way, and also Walgreens up there in the corner of Sunrise and Nob Hill. What are you laughing about? Remember the thing with the drumsticks, which gave me Tinkerbell's palsy for a few days? And I'm sure that's what did it, because I was eating those like 6 at a time. I just went crazy with those. And now I'm sneaking the same thing with the Snickers cones.
Addict.
Yes.
Weak person.
That's right. No, I'm eating them because I want to be fat. To go back to Rick. You know something, Rick? Some days you deserve a tutu. And it looks great on you. Covers up that furry puss. But anyway, no, seriously, I'm such a sugar addict. It just, and not just a sugar addict, but even things like that have NutraSweet, like those, the popsicles that are made with NutraSweet but only have 3 grams of carb in each one. If I eat one, there's like 12 in a box, I'll eat all 12. I just keep going back to...
The chocolate?
And the fudgicles, too. And those have like 8. And they're with NutraSweet. But it's the sweet taste. It's addictive. It's addictive. It's a killer, baby. And all you sugar cane people, let me say it again. I say $100 tax on an ounce of sugar. That's what I say. They're finally clamping down on cigarettes. Well, let's get to the real heart of the matter, okay? And I do mean the heart of the matter. Let's get to America's #1 killer, Azucar, baby, sugar. It's a killer. I'm declaring war on sugar right now, and I say at the next game, instead of that stupid invocation and having some Getchke out there, we ought to dig up, what's his name, Bill Duffy or Gloria Swanson, or put both their bodies out there and let them do a little sermon for a minute about the evils of sugar. So everybody can go running back inside and get themselves a nice big syrupy Coke with sugar. Or one of those arepas, that arepa queen they got in there. They got, what? You don't like those?
I only had one of those the other day. Yeah.
You don't like those? With the cheese in them?
I like the cheese part, but the cornmeal, eh.
Oh, yeah, bad for you, too, by the way, corn. Oh, man. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that like those, especially Mexicans. And if you're on the Atkins, corn is not allowed, but keep in mind one thing.
It'll make you
Exactly, and then you can go through the kernels. It's 11:50 at WIOD.
Radio stations like to show off their awards for news, but only one radio station wins the award from the only judges who count. Listen to the radio. Top of mind, #1. News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
11:53 at WIOD. I guess Hendrie won't be invited back to Joe to a prophylactic park after what he said. Do you hear what he said at halftime on Sunday?
My fantasy is I'll get my carpenter's apron on, and I'll comb my hair and go downtown.
That's Hendrie. He also said,
well, I bought some new potato chips because they ain't got any fat. But an hour after I ate them, in the John I sat. I knew they had some side effects, but I thought I'd take a chance. But right after I swallowed them, I felt my colon dance. 8-0, Lestra, my bowels began to seize. Now I'm in the can of squatting with my pants around my knees. 8-0, Lestra, now I'm afraid to sneeze. Cause I might feel something disgusting running down my knees. Well, I should have seen that warning that they put on the bag. And I should have been suspicious when the clerk gave me a rag. So if you eat them, don't be surprised if your belly hurts. And in about an hour, you'll have the Lestra squirts. 8-0, Lestra, my bowels began to seize.
Oh!
Now I'm in the can of squatting with my pants around my knees. 8-0, Lestra, now I'm afraid to sneeze. Cause I might feel something disgusting running down my knees.
11:55 at WIOD. We have 2 open lines at Dade, 751. We have no women on the phone today at all, not one. And, of course, like I said, they're looking to research. We don't have any out there. So let's hear from some Chinese guys today. Let's hear from some Mongolian idiots. Let's hear from some Japs. Let's hear from some Turks. Let's hear from some Arabs out there today. Come on, let's go. 751-9463. Let's hear from some Hispanic women that don't want free Luis Miguel tickets. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Well, Kevin Wallace, first of all, should be breaking records, going against Vince Copeland and John Moody and Jeff James. And,
Meaning what?
And Pat Edwards.
Meaning what?
Means he's head and shoulders better than those guys.
Yeah, they got a pretty good driver corps in Michigan. I hate to break the news to you.
God, I watched some of those races. They are just awful, some of those guys.
Meaning what?
Meaning they don't pull when they should pull.
Oh,
they,
here we
they
go.
get
You
boxed.
sound like the guy from Detroit, another crybaby.
No, I'm not
Let
saying...
me say it again, okay? Joe Marsh Jr. came out of Detroit. George Schulte came out of Detroit. Chris Boring from Detroit. I mean, some of the top... Wally McElmurray Sr.
Do they have a Troy Boring there, too, now?
That's Chris Boring's son. He couldn't drive his finger up your...
Rectum.
Okay. Listen, I didn't call for that. I stand for the invocation.
Thank God.
Because I bet the game and...
and you're praying for...
I figure it can't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And, Goldberg
well, at least he was an honest guy anyway.
Yeah, Goldberg took some shots on you while you were away.
Oh, while I was away.
Yeah.
While I was away. What a ballsy guy, Fatso.
Yeah, he said the WIOD is the flagship station of the Miami.
That's old. That's an old line. He's been saying that for like 10 years.
Yeah, and then he used one of your lines. He said he had lunch the other day. Now he's got the green apple quick step.
Uh-huh. Where do you think he gets his material?
Yeah, I heard that before somewhere.
Yeah.
And yesterday
Hank, you're about as original as a fart.
And yesterday he admitted he does not like hockey. He was talking about the cable company that doesn't have sports channels, so that people are complaining. What is it, TCI or
yeah.
something? And he said that they have every right not to show it. That they, I think they have the other cable system or the other.
They own Sunshine.
Right, and so they're in competition. And why should they show
because they're supposed to be serving the customers, not because they're supposed to be protecting their own selfish interest.
Well,
but again, because he's not interested in it. I guarantee if it was some damn thing, if it was a horse race or something they weren't showing, he'd be foaming at the mouth.
Yeah.
You know that.
And the funny thing about it is, if the Panthers went to the Stanley Cup, he'd be the first one on the bandwagon again.
Just like last year, he'd be sitting there right in front of the arena with his fat ass parked right outside there, pretending and talking about stuff he has no clue about.
Right.
You know something? I'm not going to repeat anything that was said to me the other day, other than Robbie Niedermeyer said that Joe Zagacki shaved his eyebrows off. But I'm going to tell you, the players, everybody associated with that team knows that the people at QAM, and I'm not talking about Chris Moore because he does the games, but I'm talking about the so-called sports experts on QAM. Everybody associated with that team knows that none of those people know anything about hockey, including Joe Rose, including the Humster, including Zagacki and Shapiro. They don't have anybody on that station that knows anything about hockey, and everybody knows that,
No, they
including
were
the
down
team.
on Saturday. They had that idiot Rose talking about who's he dating. Who's
Right.
dating. That's what he told
and let me tell you again, because that came up during the conversation at dinner time. I can't even begin to put into words how mortified he is by how stupid all that crap is.
You can tell by his answer that
Right.
he's uncomfortable with
and
the question.
he knows that the reason that keeps coming up in conversation is because Gaptooth doesn't know anything about hockey, so it's a lot easier to try to make stupid jokes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And believe me, if you met Robbie Niedermeyer, you know he don't need any help from Joe Rose getting laid. Trust me when I tell you.
Okay. Well,
Okay, pal.
I'll be Pompano. When are they showing live races?
October 5.
Okay.
I'll be there.
I'm going to MGM this week.
All right.
Okay.
Plunge your guts.
All right.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we have an open line at Dade, 751. Vince Copeland happens to be a very good driver, and so is John Moody, and so is Jeff James. So, I mean, this poor guy must have lost a few bets, but, hey, I know my drivers, man. I know Dave Pallone when I see him. 524-9463, an open line in Broward. That's one way to kill the phone, start talking harness racing, which is sad, but like I said, it's just... What is that? What is that, the buggy stuff? Is that the guys with the buggies? Yeah, it's the buggy stuff. By the way, congratulations to Gary Seibel again. I better keep saying that so we make sure we're okay. Here's Fort Lauderdale on the purple line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
We were the guys that visited with you before the game from the other side in the sun.
Yeah.
I think you got sunburned from all the white people bouncing the rays off to your side of the field.
That must be it. But it sure was refreshing being in the middle of so many white people. Too bad they were all so ugly.
Well, that's the problem with in that particular area. There's not very many young, healthy-looking women or men for that matter.
Right. No, it's a very, very smarmy crowd. It is.
We've been doing that for the last couple of years with the invocation, where we either don't get up, or we leave our hats on, or we make jokes, even when there's a rabbi up there.
Great.
Because we make jokes when they go, bless this and bless that, and in the name of our Father,
Yeah.
the Son, and
I always
the
get up
Holy,
and I yell Cox Ahoy's when they do that.
the Holy Shula and all that other
Right.
good stuff. Well, we agree, and we've been doing that, and I think everybody in the stadium should just basically turn around and moon
That next
whoever's
game,
giving the
he
invocation.
just gave me the idea. Fat Rich promises he's going to be mooning the crowd when they do the invocation. Excellent idea.
Him and Carl, the Shutter Man.
Okay.
That was the other guy with the beer
Gotta
at the
go.
beginning of the game.
Have an unhappy Yom Kippur.
Thank you, Neil.
Okay, and back at you. Or whatever.
If your refrigerator talks to you, blame Phil Hendrie. WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I wanna
News,
give
Talk,
you
and
a
Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Partly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. High around 95 degrees. 88 right now. Next news update, 1 o'clock.
Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. Bulletins at once. I'm Jennifer Rim, News, Talk, and Entertainment, Radio 610 WIOD.
This is Mike Brophy, senior writer with the Hockey News. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Here's the deal. If you can name the DJ who's on Coast 97.3 FM right now, we'll play another extra long 25-minute song set immediately. Hey, you're right. It's Johnny Dolan. South Florida's Coast, 97.3 FM. The best of the 70s, 80s, and today with less talk.
Nice book, Johnny. It's all yours, too, by the way. You know, when you replace David K. Schwartz and you go down, that tells you all you need to know. Oh, God. 3 points. Oh! Jeez.
Rectum.
Oh, that's it? That's the end? That's what you think. Surprise! All right, here we go. Oh! On cue, come on. It's the prefab 90s sports audience, baby. Here we go. Crank it up louder, man. Louder. Nothing like this great equipment, man. It won't distort much. Just like those great old RCA boards. They don't make them like they used to. Oi! Okay, kill it. Jesus. God almighty. Prefab. Everything is prefab. Everything. Here's the big thing on a scoreboard. Noise. Let's make some noise. All right. Okay. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have an open line in the blue line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. Here's Sweetwater. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned something while I was on hold about Rick's furry puss. I drove by his house one day and waved at him while he was out screwing around in the yard. You ever seen that man's back?
No, I have not. Thank God.
Oh,
don't do this in the middle of lunch hour.
It's grotesque.
I would imagine.
All right, anyway.
And his back, too. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you do that to me every time I call?
Come on, let's go. Wasn't that good?
As far as lying to the dish companies,
Right.
I live out in Sweetwater.
Oh, you can't pick up anything. Except maybe a bad case of the crabs or something.
Oh, yeah, no. They would not give me the...
Why you didn't do a good enough job of lying?
Yes, I did. I finally told them it was going to any 4-digit number on Avenue F in Fort Madison, Iowa.
Yeah.
Which my girlfriend owns the house. So,
Right.
I mean,
and did that do it?
Yes.
All right.
I get everything.
Oh! Like I said, you got to lie. I didn't tell you which lie to tell, whichever one that works.
I got a better deal on the sports packages. Everything. I got a better deal on everything because it was Midwest in the middle of nowhere.
Fantastic.
Fort
Well,
Madison,
and that's our new deal now. That's our motto. It pays to lie.
as far as...
That's why we call it WIOD, yes?
As far as potty paranoia,
Yeah.
I have an uncle that twice a month or once a month goes and buys plastic garbage bags. He always has 2 or 3 with him in case he has to use a public restroom.
A plastic garbage bag for the seat?
Yes. He cuts a hole in it to size. He's got a little template that he uses.
Why doesn't he just pull off by the side of the road and do a number in the bag, for crying out loud? Save all the extra effort.
And then, when he's ready to leave the stall, he insists on flushing the stall, or the commode, with his foot.
Oh, yeah.
He won't touch it with his hand.
Right.
I don't care.
And, of course, when you do it with the bottom of your dirty shoe, that makes it that much more sanitary for the next poor bastard that does it with his hand. And that flushes it, too, yeah. Nice.
And one more thing. You were talking about the access and parking at PP
Place,
Stadium
yeah.
or whatever. I've been to...
yeah. You can do it. Come on.
Yes. I've been to Camden Yards. I've been to Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
There's no problem getting out of that place.
Right.
You don't have to walk 3/4
There never used to be any problem getting out of this place either until Wayne bought the stadium, and now it's like a nightmare. You can't get out of there to save your life. You just can't do it. I'd rather pay $5 on the turnpike, at least get out of there, you know, and to quadruple the toll, but at least let me get home.
Right. Last year I sat in the second row. Up the deck.